First, single American women are no longer welcome in countries across the European Union due to public health concerns.
We have seen their TikToks and do not want them here. They can apply for a 72-hour visa, but must pass a mental health examination first. We do not understand this view towards men. It is not healthy for society and very unusual behavior.
In other news, American men can simply provide access to their Hinge or Bumble messages for instant asylum status in multiple countries around the world. Effective January 1st.
Okay, everybody, part was up into that. But yeah, I don't know if this is real. We'll have to wait till January 1st to confirm if it's real or not. But if it is real, here at the Matthew and Carlene channel, we can provide you all the reasons why this is why this is happening, if it does turn out to be real. For example, I know we have all seen, hey, that situation with the Tate brothers, Andrew Tate and, is that right? I forget what his brother's name is. Where, hey, they were on a trip and they were detained for several months on end and were never really charged with anything. On the account that, hey, there wasn't any evidence to back up those supposed allegations that the Tate brothers were accused of. Well, here's the thing, everybody. Do you know who pays for all that? Taxpayers pay for it. They do. And the other thing I want to point out is that for the police who did that to them, hey, they're going to be the ones taking the heat for this. They are. Well, the feminists who ordered them to do this, they're going to get away scot-free. Because that's literally the typical feminist tactic we have seen here in the West play out all the time. We really do. Where, hey, despite all that talk of being a strong and independent woman who don't need no man, instead of fighting your battles, instead of fighting your own battles with the man yourself, guess what? The woman will instead cry victim and ask another man to fight her battles with the man on her behalf. And when that man gets in trouble for it, guess what? Feminist woman leaves that man to die. She does. So one of a very effective way to get something like this to happen, well, is to essentially enrage a country's entire law enforcement by making them spend a quarter of their budget investigating a mountain's worth of false allegations that, hey, were false because there's no evidence to support it, and then make them take the heat for it once everything was over. Because, hey, the ladies are not going to do it themselves, but someone's going to have to take the fall for that. Another thing we've been noticing is that, yeah, like I said, there's been a lot of enraging hate towards men on TikTok. But one thing I've been noticing is that a lot of, here in the West, including in America, there's been a lot of women claiming that they're feminists who have been taking a historical chapter from Adolf Hitler, where they've been modifying the Bible or using the Bible as a weapon to villainize and shame men, like they have been. Thing is, we literally went to war with other countries for doing exactly that. That was one of the reasons why we went to war against Adolf Hitler. And yet for some reason, when a woman goes about doing it, who calls herself a feminist, we're all supposed to just come up with excuses to tolerate it. Well, hate to break this to all you ladies, but if you want to really seriously tick off the Vatican and make an enemy of the Vatican, well, That's a surefire way to do it. And the thing is, the Vatican is one of the most influential figures within Europe. It really is. So, there you have it. Personally, I for one believe using any religion as a weapon is appalling behavior that shouldn't be done. I really don't think of it. That's what I think. There's been a lot of historical blood behind that. There has been. The other thing we need to talk about is there are many countries, particularly first world countries like the ones in Europe, who are going through a population imbalance, which is kind of the opposite of what China's going through. Known as, instead of there being too many men and too few women, the population imbalance is going on in Europe, in a lot of Europe countries, as well as a lot of Western countries, including America, is too many women, not enough men to go around. And it's been escalating to the point where there are lots of countries out there who are creating these marriage incentive programs, or as I like to call them, passport bro sponsors, issued by a government, where they will literally pay you men to move there, marry their women, and have children with their women in order to address the population imbalance. Now, I know what a lot of feminists are going to be saying. Hey, Matthew, isn't this proof that passport bros are supportive of prostitution or sex work? I'm going to say, when was the last time sex was ever free? Like, when was the last time you ever saw a woman who gave a man sex 100% completely free? When? Regardless, if these countries want to make those marriage incentive programs go off, well, you gotta put it down in paper that to all the men out there who want to be passport bros, our country does not support the behavior that led to your decision to become passport bros. We do not support it under any means. That's what these countries are going to have to do to make those passport bro sponsor programs, aka marriage incentive programs, go off. And there's, I guess you could say this is the final thing that I believe might cause something like this to take place, is we've already covered multiple police body cam footages of women who, because of the feminist movement, enacted such erroneous behavior to the point where they caused airlines to deboard, including airlines that fly to Europe. Well, if you ladies want to piss off the tourist industry in Europe, as well as the airlines go in and out of Europe, or anywhere, I'm pretty sure that's a really good, effective way to do it. It honest to God is. Because let's face it, hey, if you ladies are going to harm a country's entire economy with this behavior, well, they're going to respond to it. They really will. Anyways, because after all, like I said before, feminists may say that men are obsolete, but let's be honest here. When you look at all the benefits women receive from men, whether it be direct benefits, indirect benefits, romantic benefits, non-romantic benefits, I got news for all you ladies. When you end up cutting all those benefits out, you just cut them out completely, you ladies no longer have access to them, guess what? You're going to come to realize that, hey, saying women don't need men may sound good and all. It may be a real big dopamine hit. However, the reality of it is insanely brutal. And I mean insanely brutal for the majority of you ladies. Even if you manage to develop an artificial wound, the reality of not having access to any of the benefits men have provided for women since the dawn of mankind will be insanely unforgiving. And honest to God will be. So, there you guys all have it. Y'all have a nice day now.